Hey guys, this is Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm jumping in with a Samhain prep spread. So I know many of you are already counting down the days till Samhain, or counting down the days until Halloween or Dia de los Muertos. And as you know, that Samhain is the witches' new year. And witches basically are people who are in tune with the cycles. They are able to really take note of their environment, utilize what's at their disposal in order to create a magical and fabulous life. And that's something that I've, reiterated over and over again. Basically, that is the definition of a witch, no matter what it is that you practice. Some people work with the elements, some people work with certain metals and things like that, more like an alchemist. But yeah, and all in all, we're just utilizing what's at hand. So taking that into consideration, let's see how prepped and ready we are for this witches' new year. So it's a time to reflect, a time to give thanks to our ancestors, to communicate to those who have crossed over, whether they be our feathery, scaly, furry loved ones, or maybe there are human family that have crossed over. But it's just a great time for the different dimensions to intermingle and be reminded of how magical it really is here. It's not just this 3D plane, but there's so many other planes, so many other dimensions, and being reminded that you too are spirit. Yes, you're in a physical body at this moment, but you're a magical being, a being of light, of energy. And so let's see for your human self just how ready you are for this next cycle, this next phase. So this spread actually comes to us courtesy of James over at Light of Rika. He's really good at creating spreads, but he's also known as our crystal guru. So if you're ever wanting to know anything regarding crystals, you can visit his Instagram at Light of Riga, or you can visit him on YouTube under the same name. All right, so he has up here, the different areas that we might want to look into on how ready we are for Samhain. So like kind of a pre-game prep, but for Samhain. So up here we have spiritually, where are you at and how ready are you for this next cycle? Down here we have the mind, mentally, where are you? Here we have the physical, your body. Over here the emotional, your heart center and your passions. Coming down on this side we have what you're bringing in to Samhain, and here what you must leave behind and what you are leaving behind. Okay, so if you're wondering what decks I'm using for this reading, I'm going to be using Tarot of the Haunted House by Sasha Graham and Mirko Perferrici. And then I'm also going to be using Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, illustrated by Giada Rose. And this is by Lorianne Anderson and Juliette Diaz. So I thought that those would work well for our pre-Samhain prep spread, or Samhain prep. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Remember, this is kind of the general energy for all of us. So some of these things may resonate with you, some of them may not, and that's just because it's reaching a broad audience. But if you do want a reading that is more personalized, something is delving into your life, then head over to my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. I'd be more than happy to read for you. Okay, so spiritually, where are we at right now? Oops, sorry, some of these cards are upside down. I did not intend for them to be that way. All right, so we have the moon and we have ritual. It says, can you feel them? Wild creatures linked by the very blood you will spill into your craft, a ritual of dedication to self and those whose gazes hold fire, but whose whispers carry you softly through the unknown. All right, so give me just a moment with this spiritually. Okay, so I do feel, and remember this is general, but kind of as a collective, many people are really starting to dive into the what is beyond. Many people are really looking into their spirituality, no matter what faith or belief system they come from. Many people are trying to understand this world and understand, maybe what lies beyond this world. Are there other dimensions? And of course, many of us do know that there are layers. But it's great that people are starting to question those things and to try to look deeper to look beyond. And I think spiritually, that's where many of us are at. You know, we're trying to get in touch with our higher selves. We're trying to get in touch with our intuition. We're trying to get in touch with what lies beyond the 3D. And many of us are doing that through ritual, either, you know, meditation, altar work, walking meditations out in the garden, prayer, whatever it may be. And we're trying to dive into this. So spiritually, we're in well, we have been, you know, in this big awakening phase, and it's just going to continue on into this next cycle. So that's really awesome. You know, hey, more awake people we have, you know, the better, as a collective. Okay, so then going into the mind, where are we mentally for this Samhain prep? All right, so we have here the 10 of Swords, and we have nature spirits. It says, on your toes, twirl and twirl until you're ready to take flight. They arrive in the winds beneath your wings and speak through the swaying of the trees. Okay, so mentally. All right, for many, I feel like it's been quite, not just the year, but like the past 2 years, actually. I think ever since like 2019, there's just been a lot on the collective mind, with all the shifts, the changing, different viewpoints, people starting to acknowledge those different viewpoints. So it's become a lot mentally. People feel like the creative energy is also at an all-time high, and sometimes that's, you know, it's great to have those muses on your shoulder, giving you ideas and creative ideas and all these things that you want to accomplish. But you know, we do experience burnout. You know, sometimes too much of a good thing, right? So I feel like mentally right now we are in a little bit of a burnout phase, going on into, you know, Samhain in the next couple of months. So just a reminder to work on that. And a lot of people are trying to alleviate some of this by spending time outside of the home. You know, nature looks different depending on where you live. Some people live in a big city, and so all they have is their local city park. Some people, you guys live in cabins out in the woods, you know, or tiny living, whatever, that's awesome. But wherever nature is for you, continue to do that. Even if it's just a potted plant or a few potted plants in your home, continue to put your hands in the soil, continue to rub those leaves, as long as they're not poisonous. No stroking your poison oak, right? But yeah, continue connecting on that level so that you can alleviate some of this almost a burden when we have like an excess of an ideas, an excess of energy, an excess of thought, you know, going on. And so perfect that this is in the mind arena. All right, moving on to the body. Where are we physically? Our physical bodies. Let's take a look. Ooh, check out that Nine of Wands. I like how these cards are really like coordinating to like the parts of the body or the pieces of ourselves, I should say. Okay, so we have the veil. It's quite possible your eyes have become the fog in which you dwell. A half-swallowed glimpse of all that you truly are can be that the tears you bleed are ready for the storms to turn the skies inward. Okay, so physically, I feel like people are also, have been, I don't want to say like this is like just now occurred. A lot of this stuff is, it's been going on. It's been going on for many people probably for a while, you know, probably several years. I feel like many people, this is like 2020 going on into 2021. But people's bodies are changing. Some people are, you know, getting back into the gym or going to the gym for the first time, or checking out nutrition for the first time, or really listening to their bodies. What does your body want to do? Does your body want to do some sort of physical exercise? Does it want to go in a pool? Does it want to dance? What does it want to do? Does it want to eat more vegetables? Does it want to eat more bread? You know, what does your body want? You know, not just your cravings, but your actual body. And a lot of people are getting in tune with that. And that's what I see with the veil here is kind of like looking beyond the information that's fed to us. So which can seem like an inundation of energy, or sorry, information, where it's like, some people are saying, oh, this is the best way to live a healthy lifestyle, for your body, these are the foods that you should eat. And some people are like, no, this is the way you should work out. And this is, and it seems like it can be a bit much. And so a lot of people starting, last year and sometimes the year before, are looking past that into, okay, they say this and that might be good and well for their body, but what's good for my body? And that's great that many of you guys are starting to really pay attention to how certain foods make you feel, how certain exercise makes you feel, be it gardening, walking, running, weightlifting, and taking stock of that. So continue on in that. For some, it's like this whole new journey, so it seems kind of daunting. Like, wow, I've never really like decided to do this with my body before. And and some people that have been like workout crazy, like gym rats, have been pulling back a little bit, because their bodies aren't demanding such hardcore gym exercise. And so again, listening to your body is great. I'm glad that you guys are bringing that into your Samhain prep. Okay, so moving on over here, we have the heart, your passions, your emotions. Where are we at an emotional level? And we have the Knight of Pentacles, and then we have Broom. What dreams may come from what you seek, make room, make way, a clearing need be. Well, I guess that's kind of coming in with the Knight of Pentacles here. He's kind of got a whoosh of energy here, but I don't really see him sprinting, kind of like you would see the Knight of Wands. So on an emotional level, I think that many of us are going to need to work on grounding ourselves more. Really paying attention to our energy field, so making sure that your shields are up, your energetic shields, when you wake up, kind of check in kind of throughout the day, make sure they're there when you go to bed at night. Meditation really helps with that too. Certain crystals, or talismans that you want to keep on yourself to kind of protect your energy, but also to cleanse. So make sure that not only are you cleaning yourself and your home physically, but also make sure that you're cleaning those things energetically. So as we go into Samhain, remember, we want to kind of sweep out the old and bring in the new, right? And of course, there are things that are going to overlap from year to year because, things aren't just so cut and dry. Some things carry on. But you can still work on cleansing those things as they continue to grow and blossom and all of that. So just to kind of keep in mind, make sure that you guys are grounding yourself, the things that you want, to make sure that they're grounded, and not just kind of flying around energetically. If you want something to manifest, make sure it's coming from a grounded place instead of just kind of up in the ethers. I mean, it's going to be there too, but make sure it's grounded, but it's also up in the ethers. Okay, so excellent there. All right, let's see, what is next? We're going to be going into what to bring in. So we're going to kind of go back and forth, what to bring in and what to leave behind. So, if we're bringing this in, then we got to leave this behind. If we're bringing this in, we got to leave this behind, because remember, everything is about balance. Everything is about a give and take. So what to bring in? Oh, looks like we have the Lovers card here, but we have this girl back here. She's kind of like looking in on them, so that's interesting. And what to leave behind, we have the Empress. Okay, so let me put these two together. So this is kind of like your, wow, we have some major arcanas here. Okay, so what to leave, or sorry, what to bring in, by working on all of these things, through, our spirituality, our mind, body, and, our emotional selves, working on these things, the energy that is coming in is one of attracting that which is really for our best and highest good, be it people, situations, places, certain material items, but you'll notice that those things are really attracting themselves to your light, and by kind of balancing all of this here, you help yourself to shine brighter, and the things that you really want will, be seen a lot easier by the universe so that, you can attract those things. So what to leave behind is the feeling like I need to, if I do a little bit of self-care, self-love, maybe if I take a bubble bath, it's going to bring in this. So it's not, I'm going to say, it's not just the act itself. Some people think, well, if I do wave a little stick of Palo Santo around, that's just going to clear the energy of my home. If I take a bubble bath and show myself that I care, once for this once, then yay, all these good things are going to come in for me. And the reason we do those things physically is to have a tangible correlation to what we want internally. We have that focused intention. It's coming from our conscious, but also our subconscious level. And so it's beyond just the doing here that's going to bring this stuff in. So we need to leave this mindset behind that we need to do, mindlessly these few things, and then magically some things are going to come into our life. It's really not what you're doing, but it's how you're thinking and the energy that you're projecting, kind of like she's projecting this energy here. Okay, so just some things to keep in mind. So put that there and this there. Okay, so next, what to bring in and what to leave behind. All right, we have the 7 of Swords and we have the 9 of Cups. Okay, so things to bring in is actually having a little bit more of a plan when it comes to, how, and this is kind of like a balance again, but how you see what you want in the future. Of course, we don't want to live in the future. We want to stay as much in the present as possible. But you can have an idea of what you want that future to look like. Maybe not down to the minute detail, because leave the universe some room to be creative with the things that you want to bring into your life. But saying like, oh, I eventually would like to own a home. I would like to become financially independent. I would like these things. And these are the things that I'm going to work on in the 3D to make that happen. And then you kind of leave the rest up to the universe. What to leave behind here, we have the 9 of Cups. This feeling like we should always be, in this space of like having everything we want. We often get caught up in that comparison game, and I like how there's like the old like 9 of Cups back here, the like RWS version, so that's kind of cool. But we get caught up in this comparison game, like oh, I'm a tarot reader, but I see this other tarot reader and he or she is doing all these fabulous things, and I wish I could do all those fabulous things. If only I had all of that, I would be so happy. And really the happiness comes from being secure in all of this, balancing all of this, having a plan of, action steps that you want to take to, realize your goals, not somebody else's goals, but not having it planned out so detailed that you butt out the universe entirely and not let it help you in any way. Okay, so things to keep in mind there, and other things to bring in and leave behind as we prep for Samhain. We have the 2 of Cups, and then we have our Emperor. Okay, things to bring in. I've been talking about like connection through August, but like this whole year, really, 2021. Actually, I think connection was my, I think that was my word of the year for my bullet journal. But it's all about relationships and connection. So relationship with self, relationship with the animals, the earth, the people around you, your family members, being able to see the positives and the negative of those relationships, seeing the balance within those relationships. What do you bring to the table in those relationships, so on and so forth. And then what to leave behind is this kind of controlling idea. I must control all relationships, and I must control all people and all things around me. And if I can do that, then I control my destiny. To a certain degree, yes, we can help get to where we want to be, but we can't control everyone and everything. And that part is where we have to be kind of part flow and part action oriented. It's just a balance, kind of like this balance of the Two of Cups here. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. All right, other things, last thing, what we're bringing in and what we're leaving behind. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we're bringing in third harvest. And right now we just we had Lanasa, so we had our first harvest. This is Daughters of the Woods. Feel thy sacred swell with suppleness. Taste the gathering of honey's milk filling your emptiness. What to leave behind, we have altar, a sacred devotion, a worship skin deep rising from the ash, the waters you keep. Okay. Okay, so what to bring in with this harvest is really appreciating the rewards for everything that you've worked for, either worked for it mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all these things that we spoke of before, and feeling in gratitude, whether it brought you certain situations, positive or negative, because they've led you to where you are right now. And yeah, just reap those rewards, acknowledge them, write them down. I'm so grateful I ran into so-and-so because this led to this and this led to this. I am so grateful that I made the decision to do, X, Y, and Z, and then, this led to this and this led to this. And it's very empowering, when you write those things down and when you acknowledge those things. What to leave behind, we have altar, which what I'm getting with that is that magic only comes from this one place. Magical practitioners often have altars. A lot of people, no matter what their devotion is, they have altars. Churches have altars. And often people say that, the spirituality itself, the devotion, the magic is in this altar, when really what we need to keep in mind is the altar is us. The altar is inside of us. So to decorate that altar, to cleanse that altar, to make offerings to that altar is really just an external representation of what you should be doing for yourself. So what to leave behind is this feeling like the magic is outside of you, that the altar is outside of you. That's just an external representation. You are the altar, so honor that altar, honor yourself and really bring in that gratitude, which helps to fulfill your inner altar. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think this was a lovely spread. So thank you to James over at Light of Riga for creating this awesome spread. I'll make sure that I do a little post on my website. It's where I have my blog and I keep all of my text written walkthroughs of my spreads so that you guys can do this as well. But yeah, bust out your cards, see what you guys get from this. But yeah, I enjoyed doing this reading for you guys, and I know that we have some time before Samhain, but that's great because now we get to acknowledge these things, work on these things, yeah, get ourselves pre-game Samhain prepped. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this. Let me know kind of what you got from these cards as well. Put that down below so we can just kind of enhance the reading with, everybody else's intuition. Yeah, and if you dug this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. I have a lot of different types of readings. Also, some things that I hand make, like my salves, my room and body sprays. But if you're looking for more witchy items, unique, one-of-a-kind items that are handmade either by us or by local artisans or artisans from afar, then check out Desert Cauldron, all one word, on Etsy, or at desert.cauldron on Instagram. It's a little witchy shop owned by James and myself. And we just added so many new items. I'm working on my spell bottles right now. I'm so excited about those. So definitely check it out. We have unique, one-of-a-kind items for your one-of-a-kind practice. Come dance in the desert with us, and we hope to see you there. All right, so I hope you guys dug this. All my information is down below for like my newsletter, Patreon, my Leon Mystery School, where I teach Mayan astrology, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.